Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Every day we break down breaking AI news stories and explain their implications in your life and in business. I need to ask you for a big favor. Believe it or not, we have around 92,000 people that listen to this podcast every month, which is absolutely amazing. But when you go to our Apple Podcast or Spotify pages, we only have around 110 reviews total. If you could do me a massive favor and give this podcast a review, I would be super, super grateful. Every time I contact an incredible founder or CEO in AI, they look at the podcast, they look at how many reviews I have, and that helps me to get better guests on the show. So if you could do a huge favor to myself and also yourself, go to the Apple Podcast or the Spotify page, wherever you listen to this, and give a review of the show. If you've noticed lately, I've been doing interviews with some really phenomenal CEOs. I have some more amazing ones coming up in the coming weeks with some CEOs that have raised hundreds of millions of dollars for their AI startups. I want to bring these to you and I want to get more of those. So please drop a review, go to your wife's account, go to your husband's account, go to your kid's account and leave a review. I don't care. Help us get more reviews, and I promise I will help bring some amazing AI entrepreneurs and guests onto the show. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Salesforce has just made a big announcement in AI, and you may notice, Salesforce is not a tech company that has been left behind in this entire AI boom. They've launched Salesforce's Einstein AI and a lot of other really cool AI tools. So today, they're taking it one step further with a new announcement, and we're going to be diving into that on the podcast. Essentially, the headline here is that Salesforce's Einstein Studios lets you bring your own model, and they're going to be starting with Amazon SageMaker. So for context on where, Salesforce has been in AI historically, I think they actually first introduced their AI layer of Einstein back in 2016. But I think the importance of generative AI and data cloud, that's Salesforce's proprietary data lake, was a really key point of discussion at Salesforce World Tour event, which happened in New York City back in May. So I think now the company is kind of taking the next step forward in what they're planning to do. So that's when they've now officially introduced Einstein Studio. So Einstein Studio is Salesforce's kind of latest innovation. It's a management console, which is integrated within the data cloud that essentially allows customers to import existing models without any extract, transform, load, any of those requirements. So Raul, who is the EV and GM of Unified Data Services and Einstein, he explained, quote, "Our new feature, Bring Your Own Model, gives customers the ability to incorporate their proprietary data into Data Cloud to build and train their model. Combining an external model with the Salesforce data and Data Cloud creates a potent mix." So Einstein Studios essentially is designed for organizations that are, they essentially have sophisticated data teams. They've built models on platforms like SageMaker, but they now want to use those really significant investments they've made, right? They don't want to waste that money, and they want to use those in other areas. And so this solution kind of gives a really smooth way to integrate these models into existing workflows that they already have. And I think this makes a ton of sense. Anytime you've invested heavily into something, especially into AI, developing an AI model somewhere else, and you're like, gee, this would be super useful in my CRM or in other workflows I have. I think this is a really good way to make sure that people are, being able to use their investments to the fullest. So let's talk a little bit about the ETL free advantage. So a standout feature, I think, of the Einstein Studio is its ETL free operation. So essentially, it eliminates the typical tedious process of extracting, transforming, and loading data. This is, I think, a really significant advantage for data teams. And so while it currently supports Amazon SageMaker, Salesforce isn't exclusively going to be working with Amazon. They actually plan to extend their support to Google Vertex AI, to Databricks, to Snowflake, and to some other platforms soon. So I think this is really awesome. Being a little bit more platform agnostic is definitely going to be really interesting to people. I think especially just because, Google Vertex has a lot of really cool tools on it and a lot of really amazing capabilities. There's definitely enterprises using that, building on there. And so I think this is a good move by them to be like, hey, it's not just if you have built something on SageMaker, we have all these other platforms. If you built them on the other platforms, we also pull them in. I think this is going to make Salesforce more powerful. And of course, this is going to be really beneficial to all the organizations. So I think beyond its core function, Einstein Studio also offers a big array of kind of predictive models for use cases like customer churn analysis. It also facilitates the design of custom predictive models. So that's, like predicting product maintenance needs or, generating product recommendations. And they have that all built in. So I think the tool also enables the use of language model libraries to generate content, such as automated maintenance, reminder emails. Salesforce also kind of aims to reduce model, hallucinations, quote unquote, which of course everyone is concerned about. And of course, that's easier said than done. But I think they're doing this by connecting to an internal graph database, which I think is kind of an interesting approach to this. So this allows for more accurate data-driven content, and kudos to them for that. So after importing the model, users can integrate into Salesforce's workflows to generate insights or to trigger actions such as email creation. And this really leverages existing work by the data teams that they've already done, and now they're able to just leverage it. So Einstein Studios, with its connectivity to Amazon SageMaker and the new, bring your own model feature, is available in general availability starting today. And I think that Salesforce's latest developments really underscore its commitment to pushing the boundaries of AI and data management. I think this is going to foster a lot of innovation, which is awesome. And I think that Salesforce really continues to evolve. It's going to be interesting to see how the industry responds. But I think in a really dynamic landscape, with what we're seeing with AI and data management, I think Salesforce's Einstein Studios is an actual potential game changer. I think it really enhances collaboration, customization, and efficiency. And I think this opens up a lot of new avenues for organizations to really capitalize on their data investments that they've already made, to not lose those investments, but to be able to carry them through. And I think this is overall just going to be a really big plus for the Salesforce platform as far as keeping their customers and getting new ones. Thank you for listening to the AI Chat podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate us wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure to check out our Discord channel and Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can share software, tools, and prompts we're using in AI every day. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.